Hi guys, in this video I'm going to talk about Perceptron training algorithm. Basically, Perceptron training algorithm involves 7 steps. First step is, or you can also say step 0, initialize the weights and the bias. We have the initial weights, and now this weight we can initialize with any value and bias with any value. Generally we set bias value equal to 0 for easy calculation. In step 0 we also initialize the learning rate. We can initialize the learning rate between 0 to 1. Generally learning rate is set to 1. Step 1, perform steps 2 to 6 until the final stopping condition is false. Step 2, perform step 3 to 5 for each training pair indicate by S is to T. Here S is to T is the ratio of input is to output. Step 3, input unit is applied with identity function. We have talked that we have input unit, second is the hidden unit, and third is the output unit. This weight in the perceptron is the direct weight, that is there is no updation of the weight between the input unit and the hidden unit. So if we want to apply this direct weight between the input unit and hidden unit, then we are going to use the identity function, that is xi equals to si. Fourth step is calculate the output of the network. We calculate the output of the network yn equals to b, that is bias. We add this bias that can be positive or negative so that it can be used for activation function. For I is equals to 1, from I equals to 1 signal to n xi, that is the signal, and wi is the weight associated with that signal. Now this yin is given to the activation function. Now this activation function will produce the output. Output will be 1 0 minus 1. Now this activation function will compare the yn value with the threshold value. We set some threshold value for our network from which we compare. If we get yn value greater than threshold value, then we will say 1 will be the output. If yn lies between minus theta and theta, then 0 will be the output, and if yn is less than minus theta, then minus 1 will be the output. In step 5, weight and bias adjustment, compare value of calculated output with actual output. If y is not equals to t, then wi new is equals to wi old plus alpha t xi. In step 5, weight and bias adjustment are done. Now we compare the value that our network has presented with the actual output value. We compare the value between the output value that we have produced and what is the actual output. If our value that network has calculated is not equal to the target value, then the new weight will be the summation of old weight plus alpha, that is our learning rate, t is our target value, and xi is our signal. And we will also update bias. Now new bias will be the old bias plus alpha t. Alpha is learning rate and t is the target value. Target value can be plus 1 or minus 1. Now step 6, train the network until there is no change in weight. This is stopping condition. Now if we reach to a point where our new weight is equals to the old weight, that is there is no change in the weight, that is we have reached to the target value, and now we will stop our perceptron training algorithm. Now we can understand this complete algorithm with the help of a flowchart. First we start. Second is the initialize the weight and the bias. We can initialize weight with any value and bias with any value, but generally we consider bias value as 0. Now we will set alpha, that is our learning rate, between 0 to 1. Generally we take value as 1. Now for each value, that is now for each value of input is to output, we will check activate input until xi is equals to si. For each s is to t, if the ratio is not what we want, that is it is not equal to 1, then we will begin, and if s is to t equals to 1, then we will directly stop. That is what the weight we have assumed and what is the target weight, both are equal. Now we will directly stop from this condition. But now if s is to t is not equals to 1, then we will begin forward. Activate input until xi is equals to si. That is we have used the identity function. Direct input value is given to the hidden value or associatory unit with the help of active input or with the help of identity function. Now we calculate yn with the given associatory unit value, we calculate yn. Now we will apply activation function y is equals to fn, this function, and now after applying the function, if our calculated value is not equals to the target value, then now we will update our weight, and if finally there is no change in the weight, then we will stop. If there is change in the weight, then again we will perform the step from 2 until 6. So this was all Perceptron training algorithm. Thank you.